Hello. Hello there, guys. Let me check my mic. Hello there, guys. And I'm sure that you guys can hear me now, right? Let me check my mic. Check 1 2, mic 1 2. Guys. You guys can hear me now, right? All right. So welcome to the platform here. Again, this is J Randy here. Let me see what's going on here. Let me check this one right here. Okay. Let me check this here. Okay. You guys should be able to hear me here. Let's see here. This was 23 hours ago. All right. So let me see if I can share this here. If you're just joining me, please share the video. If you're just joining, just share the video, guys. Let me try to increase the volume here. Yes. If you're just joining me here, please share the video. This is J Randy here. We are back here again, back with another exciting presentation. Let me just try to share here with the group here first. Yes, guys, so share the video. We are here again this evening. Let's see here. I'm going to share this here. And we're going to share this here. Let's see here. It should be coming here now. All right, there you go, right here. Hello there, everyone. I hope your day went well today. We are back here again with another beautiful presentation with me, J Randy here. Let's see here. J Randy need to be. All right. Let's see. Yep, we are here and we are here for good. So let's share this thing here. All right, let's share this here. And thank you guys so much for joining me here. Let me just finish sharing and then we'll start the outline today. I hope your day went well. Weather was very nice. And I hope that you had a very good day today as well. Let me come over here too and do the same thing here. Okay. Let me come over here too and do the same thing here. Been getting a lot of requests this few days. Yeah, a lot of requests. A lot of requests from people. Yes. All right, let's see here. Okay, let's see. Yes, I see all the requests here. Let me see here again. Over here. We are also here too. I hope we're here. Okay. We are also. Let me see here. We are also sharing here too. Okay. Jeez, got it on TikTok too. They got it on TikTok. Yeah. All right. Somebody got it on TikTok here. Wow. People are already adding a group to all kind of thing. Well, it's not bad though. We tell God thank you. And I think this is an opportunity for us to say ourselves good so that people can actually get to see what we made of here. So that's good. That's good. Just have to bless God for that opportunity there, as always. And then, of course, let me come to this page right here. Let's come here and let's J Randy share in this group. Yes, let's share. Did we share in the group already? I don't think so. We did here. So let me see here. So let's share in this group here. All right, let's share here and share here and share here. So what we're doing is share, guys. Let me just upload a few video here for you guys to watch. And while you're watching the video, but before we do that, let me just take myself off the screen here a little bit here. Maybe I should just lower myself right here. Yeah, let me bring on the video so that we can start looking at the video just to keep you guys busy with some stuff. So let's go to the
So folks, we are back. We are currently on Broad Street. The entire Central Monrovia is locked down. The entire St. John Moravian is locked down, folks. We are back. How good is he play today? Folks, if you are just joining us, today is April 19, the day our post announced that they were going to be coming out, and few lawmakers endorsed the protest that particular day. Today is the day St. John Moravian has been locked down. Honorable Yeke Koluba, Honorable Frank Safogo, and Honorable Eugene Colley of Pond County are here today to make this peaceful march a successful one. As you can see, men are moving. St. John Moravian is locked down. We also seen the chairman of the CDC COP and believe.
All right, guys. Again, hello and welcome to the J. Randy Show. And I would like to say thank you guys so much for the opportunity tonight. We have a lot of stuff to present to you guys in a very, very beautiful order. So if you're just joining me here, I would like to say welcome again. Please share the video and thank you guys so much for the opportunity here. We are going to be discussing a series of political and other issues on the platform tonight. And we are also broadcasting across all network today. Yes, all network. We are hoping to continue the broadcast in the faction by engaging all the different platforms we have on Facebook and on YouTube. We want to keep it this way because that way we give everybody the opportunity to be able to watch from their preferred choice of platforms and not to just have one platform where we podcast through here. So I'd like to say thank you guys so much for giving me the opportunity. Again, my name is J. Randy, and the purpose of me being on Facebook here is to provide insight, information, and awareness to you and give you the information for you to be able to see the facts, the data, and be able to come up with your own conclusions. So thank you guys so much for the opportunity. Without delay, let us begin the conversation here. I'm going to take this thing up because I'm trying to get a feedback as to how I sound on this platform here. So let's get back to the actuality of what I want to present here today here, all right? So I am going to upload this here for you guys, as you can see here. So I'm going to make this here bigger here. So again, welcome to the J Randy Show. All right, the J Randy Free Voice. This is the channel that we broadcast on here. This is the channel you're looking at here. This is the J Randy Free Voice here. And as we go down the home, this is what we actually stand for. This is what we represent. This is what we talk about. Whatever we preach, whatever we do, this is where we stand. And we actually want you guys to also be with us here on the platform. Please invite your friend and don't be a stranger here. All right. We encourage you guys to always come back every time. And then another thing we also have here too is these are all the different pages you can go to. All right, the J Randy here. We have the Liberal Citizen for Accountability and Ethical Standard. That's another platform there. We have the Tapu channel. That's another platform. And then, of course, we have the J Randy Free Voice. This is our YouTube channel. So we got everything running here for you guys. And then also this is our Cash App here, or we encourage you guys to send us whatever you have on hand to please send it our way. We will really, really appreciate that. All right. As long as you come here to enjoy what we present here, we also look forward to you providing that opportunity for us to be able to continue our podcast as well. All right. And then this is what we stand for, the J Randy Show platform here. All right. We are here to focus on ensuring accountability, fostering responsibility, and you can see the rest of it over there. And then this is to our viewer. This is what we represent. You can take a screenshot and also look at that. And then the citizenship, the Liberal Citizen for Accountability. This is where we are. And as we go down the home, Joseph Boakai is now president for almost 100 days. These are things that he said he will do. We are about to fact check some of the things as we wrap up the first 90 days of the year and approaching 100 days. And then we'll also look at some of the promises that he made. Mr. Boakai said there will be no more suffering in the country. Is that true that people are not suffering in the country? Mr. Boakai said within 150 days, we are almost approaching 100 days out of the 150 days. He said there will be thousands of jobs that will be created in your administration. Whether that is true, we will put that to test. And he said there will be no more hardship in the country. There will be a job for all eligible Liberians. No car will get stuck. We're also going to look at this as well in the program as well, as Mr. Boakai has expressed himself as well. So I want to say thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. We appreciate you guys for coming here all the time. So we'll do the best we can, and to discuss this thing here. So this is the rundown we have here. So now coming to the presidency of Joe Boakai, we are right here. Since Mr. Boakai came to office, the big question we have here is, where is his national development agenda for Liberia? We are yet to see anything in regards to that. Now, we were concerned that Mr. Boakai, when he took office, we made a comparison with his nomination. Now they are all confirmed and in different positions. But we just want to bring you guys back. The finance minister also worked in the old government. That is, they were in the Salim administration, and Boakai renominated them. So these are the people who work for Elling, and Boakai decided to bring back. But one interesting individual we have here today that we are going to be talking about is nobody else but this guy they call Mr. Sengay. As you can see here, let's start from the top name here. We got Buema Kamara, we got Sylvester Grispe, we got Kofi Woods, we got Mr. Gregory Como. And then right underneath Mr. Gregory Como, this guy they call Sengay, he is on the menu today to be talked about. But let's look at the position he had during the early administration. He was Deputy Director for Operation Executive Mansion Protection Service, but now he has been elevated, and as you will see here shortly, this is the gentleman here we are going to be talking about here. All right, Sengay. Over the few days, there have been a lot of things taking place within the EPS. We have video to present to you guys, but in the spirit of discussing this video, what we want to establish here tonight is called standard procedures. There are a lot of things that have been taking place throughout the Boca administration. And on the platform, we decided to discuss things based on stand-up, based on procedures, and based on maybe protocol within the EPS. Some of the question we have here is one, Boca had been in office for a little bit of, I would say, around 95, 96 days in office. And usually those days are considered to be a probationary period, a period of preparing yourself to take on the big job. So the second question we have here is why the administration of Joe Boca is carrying out a massive firing, dismissal, and letting people go. What justification do they have? Now, I don't want you to get confused because other platforms, to be true and honest with you, people that run the other platform, they are not in position as other people are of making decision. Because in order to make decision, you must have a well-rounded information. You should have the knowledge of and the data in order to make decision. Because if you make a decision that turn out to be bad, it has the propensity to create instability within an organization or, in this case, in the government. So the question we're asking here on the platform is, Mr. Boca is still within a 100 days performance. Now, those people that are being fired, these people been on the job for the last 6 years. What has Mr. Boca administration implemented as a strategy to achieve, and for some reason, those who are part of the process of achieving whatever strategy and goal they have set forward, are these people underperforming? How do we know that they are underperforming? We don't know these things, but we see massive layoff. But the last time we were here, we understood that Mr. Boca administration is letting people go, and only those who work within the last 6 years. That means most of the people who are being let go are people who were working for the past administration. The massive firing does not go back as far as those who work within the Unity Party-led government for the past 2 terms, 12 years ago. 12 years. So the third question here is Mr. Boca targeting Liberians who work in the WIA administration? If so, what will be the consequences of all the massive firing and layoff? Do you see stability in the country? Do you see a pathway to having peace? We are here tonight to present you with different videos, and we are here to present you with facts. So thank God that you are here to be here with us, and we really appreciate you for being here. We look at things in the eyes of having a responsible administration. There's nothing wrong with firing anybody, in my opinion. But I think the way to fire people and the way to lay people off, there are different options out there. But I think the administration itself is challenged in terms of experiences that could bring this whole firing and dismissal in a very strategic way to achieve success rather than creating instability in the country. We will provide option out here today so that you can take a look at it and learn from it and move forward. Because our goal here is to show to other Liberians that there is another way that things can be done to avoid, the hassle, the instability in the street. You just watched a video right now. Motorcyclists that have been using their two-legged machine to sustain themselves, provide for their family. Out of the blue sky, a decision came without even having some engagement across the country with motorcyclists as to why they want to put in the new measure. How many months or days are they going to give them to adjust? We just see an abrupt decision coming out. And in the instant or situation where somebody just come in with an abrupt decision, there will always be pushed because not everyone embrace change. Was that decision based on understanding the fact that some people are not employed by the government, but they're trying to at least become an independent employer for themselves? Does that decision also understand that these people we see riding the motorcycle, some of them did vote for us. We cannot provide job for them. But how can we come to a common denominator to keep these people still running, to at least continue with their daily earning, to take all the stress from on the government in terms of employment? I mean, what is the strategy that were put into place? Did they do the first strategy and look at the consequences and repercussion and that kind of squash it off? Or was there anybody in there who disagreed with what they were planning to do? And how did they handle that disagreement? Because a decision that affects the life of people, especially their livelihood, it's not going to sit too well. But Liberia has a history where violence has always been the last resort to bring about engagement. We saw that during the 1980s, people died. We saw that during the late 1980s as well. And then throughout the early 90s, throughout the 90s, we saw war. And even the early 2000s, we saw war. And that war destabilized the country, destroyed a lot of infrastructure. And then we came back and we see the exact thing happening again. So what does that tell anyone listening to me right now about the violent past of our country? What lesson have we learned? How can we at least look at situation and do a situation analysis to understand what could be the worst thing that could come out of this decision? And how would a country be looked at in terms of moving forward rather than returning to the past? Those are questions that we'll be asking, and most of the questions will be why. Why is the EPS director decided to let EPS employee go? Why? Why the Ministry of State allow 700 employees to go? We demand answers because we have all these questions. So thank you guys so much for joining me. We are not the popular people on Facebook because the platform provide teaching. They look at things from an administrative standpoint. We don't apply too many engineering ideas here because our country, it is a country that is not looking into other developmental aspect of making the country better. So we tend to limit other aspects of our society. So we tend to focus more on social, economic, and other issue. Unlike Ghana, South Africa, Nigeria, you have a very large conversation across many areas of expertise. But for Liberia, we have to understand the mindset of the people and discuss things that are within their understanding of things. And then over time, when we see the growth in how the knowledge continue to increase, and then we start to add things on. So we'll be very careful here, all right? So how we discuss things here, because right now the country is at 95% political engaged. Everything is centered around politics. There is no focus on technology. There is no focus on artificial intelligence and the prospect it has. Many people don't like those things right now from my observation and survey that I have done. So we will try to engage the conversation through the window of politics, but in the process of doing so, we will be able to at least drop a little dust of other things to bring to the attention of other Liberians. So we encourage you to please join us on the platform here, and thank you very much. All right. So without delay, we want to get back into the conversation here. What we're going to be looking at here now today is Mr. Sengay. As you can see here, we want to first of all understand there was a conversation that took place in a studio in Liberia where one of the ex-EPA officer, in doing an interview, he said something very strange. And then we also want to ask you what that gentleman did in our studio. Was he right or was he wrong? Or what actually went wrong? And then we'll also look at the EPS, whatever the EPS said in terms of letting the people go, whether the proper channel was followed. So without delay, we firstly would like to start with a few things here. You will recall during the administration of Joseph Boycott, this is what Mr. Boycott said during his administration. When he first came to office. So let's go to a few things before we get into the detail aspect. So listen to Mr. Boycott here.
In the first 100 days, no car will get stopped on a major road in this country. And I mean it.
Okay, so Mr. Boka said,
of this country.
Mr. Boka said no car will get stuck in the first 100 days. But this is a very fresh video here right after that.
This is the road leading from Green Jada to River G. Our people are going to David Cortex. People spend 3 to 4 days, 4 days in the mud. No way to go River G, no way to come out. So this is a lady that I know, she want to express herself. Lady, my sister, what I know, tell her what is some of the problem that you've been fixing on this road.
This particular road here, you also all say we vote Bouaka. Who vote Bouaka, you say we again. He said you are coming all 90 days for the road to be faced. Yeah. Now see the road condition. And now it's on us. No food, no way for cars to pass. So when you encourage me now, you encourage me or you encourage you to vote Bouaka.
Yes, you're already in power. You just get 3 months. You not spend more time.
The 90 they're not correct, yeah.
Yes, we were working on things. We put some mechanism in the place. The president is working, and they'll try to come. You'll see some machine on the road. So you have to be patient. And what you want to say? Your last comment. What you want to say?
And I get nothing to say because I feel it bad. He said, if you are not doing anything now, let you get it. See again the road conditions. Say the same. So okay. No encouragement now.
Thank you very much. Your voice will be coming.
In the first 100 days, no car will get stuck on a major road in this country.
All right. So how do we fact check that, folks? How do we fact check that? On the platform, we're not here to glorify CDC or glorify the Unity Party. That's not what I'm ordering. That's not what I am about here. I'm only here to look at the facts. You promise your son, your daughter, you promise your kids that you're going to do something, right? They look up to you. They trust you. And they allow you to say things to them. And then at the same time, they expect what you promised them. You listen to Mr. Boka. He said within the first 100 days of his administration, no car will get stuck. You saw that fresh video. So what does that tell you about who Joe Boka is? Do you think Joe Boka can be trusted by what he says? Now, I'm not saying this thing because I dislike Joe Boka. What I want you to understand, as a leader, there will always be a time where you have to think twice before you say something, because the unexpected can be the reason why something bad can come in your pathway, and that can make people to lose confidence and trust in you. You listen to Mr. Boka. Let's listen to him again about what he said, and then we'll go back to that video again, all right? So let's listen to Mr. Boka here, because Mr. Boka is almost approaching his 100 days in office. And that 100 days is now under some type of scrutiny that we want to at least bring to your attention here. Again, we are trying to determine whether Mr. Boka actually understands what he says, and what he says, he actually understands the consequences of his decision. All right? So we want to make sure that whatever he is talking about or whatever he says, we want to understand that. All right. So let's go back again to what Mr. Boka said again.
I've said in the first 100 days, no car will get stuck on a major road in this country.
This is the road leading from Green Jada to River G. Our people are going to David Cortex. People spend 3 to 4 days, 4 days in the mud. No way to go River G, no way to come out. So this is a lady that I know, she want to express herself. Lady, my sister, what I know, tell her what is some of the problem that you've been fixing on this road.
This particular road here, you also all say we vote Bouaka. Who vote Bouaka, you say we again. He said you are coming all 90 days for the road to be faced. Yeah. Now see the road condition. And now it's on us. No food, no way for cars to pass. So when you encourage me now, you encourage me or you encourage you to vote Bouaka.
Yes, you're already in power. You just get 3 months. You not spend more time.
The 90 they're not correct, yeah.
Yes, we were working on things. We put some mechanism in the place. The president is working, and they'll try to come. You'll see some machine on the road. So you have to be patient. And what you want to say? Your last comment. What you want to say?
And I get nothing to say because I feel it bad. He said, if you are not doing anything now, let you get it. See again the road conditions. Say the same. So okay. No encouragement now.
Thank you very much. Your voice will be coming.
Okay, folks. So this is what we call check and verify. This is what we call holding people accountable. You see, when we as citizens are dealing with a government, the government has what we call 8 pillars of good governance. There are 8 pillars of good governance. We talk about that here, and I will just try to go over a few of them. All right. The first pillar of good governance is about transparent decision. Transparent decision. A decision that will be made in the present and open of the citizen that the government serves. The second is accountability. Now, when you listen to Mr. Barker saying within the first 100 days, no car will hitch, it is your responsibility as citizen to fact check what Mr. Barker said. It is in no way a crime. It is in no way disrespect. You are only doing your responsible obligation as a citizen to hold the government accountable. Why are you holding the government accountable? Because the third aspect of the 8 pillars of good governance has to do with inclusive participation. Inclusive participation is where the government engage the people and get the people voice or input in what it does. Now, with what Mr. Barker has said and what we have seen so far, that also brings into question his ethical leadership. All right. What is ethical leadership? Ethical leadership is a standard form of leadership that provide some truth to what people say and what their expectations should be all about. So as we go through our conversation here every day, we are going to be looking at things through the eyes of the 8 pillars of good governance. So let me ask you this. Do you think what Mr. Barker promised, that there will be no car will get hitched, in your own words? And when you look across the highways between counties in Liberia where the cars are getting stuck, what do you say about Joe Barker when it comes to his credibility, when it comes to his decision making? How do you view his decision making? Do you think he understands what he says? And do you think he means what he says? Can he be trusted? Those are things that we want to talk about. So looking at Joe Barker 100 days here, we are seeing so many failures within his 100 days than his success rate. That's what we are seeing. We are seeing more failures within his 100 days than the success we're seeing here. All right. Now, let's move on to the first video we came across first. All right. Let's go to the first video we came across and to see what is actually happening here. All right. So let's get into that video. All right. Let's do that now. Now, as you watch the video, I want you to look at the subtitle that I just put underneath there. And I look forward to your responses. Now, with the decision, all right, the decision that Joseph Barker and his administration are putting out for the public to consume, and with the reaction that we are getting from the public, my fellow Liberians, here is the question. Do you see Liberia at this time of its existence a country that is increasingly experiencing instability? That is, Liberia is increasingly experiencing instability. Do you agree with that? I want you to watch the video, and other video will come as well. And I want you to think about this question here. All right, the one you see right below that, or the statement right below the screen, and tell me whether this statement is true or not. But let's watch the video as an evidence to determine how we can make a very truthful statement in regards to that. And it will be based on the video and the conversation, both from the video and what you are hearing from me. So I look forward to your statement as well.
So folks, we are back. We are currently on Cross Street. The entire Central Monrovia is locked down. The entire Today, Central Moravia is locked down, folks. We are back. We won it, brother. We won it. Yep. How long will they play today? Man, come here, man, come here. Dada! Dada! Hey! Hey! Very interesting. You're putting over the door. Folks, if you are just joining us, today's April 19th, the day our post announced that they were going to be coming out, and few lawmakers endorsed the protest that particular day. Today is the day Central Moravia has been locked down. Honorable Yeke Koluba, Honorable Frank Safogo, and Honorable Eugene Colley of Pong County are here today.
What happened when I thought I was peaceful?
So y'all will be peaceful.
We peaceful until we see after Marathon, Baka.
So what if Baka government do not address your matter? What would be your next action?
Baka government and not just our matter. Baka we not going to work for 1 month.
So are you people going to put Baka on a hostage? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
We are not putting on a hostage, but we will block the road every day.
Every day you're going to block it. Do you think that would be the solution to your problem?
It will be a solution. American will come away. American embassy will come away because Baka will pay us.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Hold on. So no job for you. And they tell you to leave. Yes.
All right, so guys, what do you make of this video here? These are things that we need to be discussing across every platforms. But on the platform here, we'll be asking questions here. Oftentimes when people are running in election, they often tell people the people are suffering, the people need help. We even have video of the former vice president, now president, making statements such as, you guys are suffering, this is your last opportunity, this country belongs to you need to have some financial independence. And my fellow librarian, all those things are all true, to be honest with you guys. All those things are all true. But then those things they say, at what given time during the administration that they see it as something that is not a reality that lead to decisions such as this? What do they look at? Do they consider the economic stress it will put on the population of people who are riding the motorcycle? What decision and what is the interval of the decision? What time between the elapsed time where no motorcycle should be put on the street? And for the most part, had there been any conversation where they sit with the motorcyclists, and say, hey, we understand what you guys are doing here, but here are some facts that we have that we are very much concerned about. What are those facts? Do you know? Or somebody just get up one morning and say, no motorcycles should come here. There must be some type of facts that support a decision. Are they polluting the environment? Is that why they want them to be in one area? Are they causing a lot of accidents? Are they impeding traffic? Or are they snatching people's bags? And based on all the above facts, are one of the reasons why we decide to let these people go. Who on this platform who on other platforms are telling you the reason? Because these people are part of the global community of Liberians. They are finding ways to independently finance themselves. Some of them voted for the Unity Party, hoping that they will continue riding their motorcycle for the penny every day to survive and keep the lights or whatever they have as some sort of responsibility in their country, in their home, to keep it moving from one month to another month until the year ends. So my question here is, how much information do you have? How much information the government provided out there that caused them to make the decision? And how can you and I have the conversation to say, yes, the government is right, the people are wrong, or the people are right, and the government is wrong? So how can they come up with a decision? That is the question I want to ask, because a poor decision will lead to instability in the country. And don't get me wrong, there are some people who support this government that will come out and say things there. But in a very sound and responsible country with a responsible government that believe that the people have stake in their decision making, there is a form of communication called engagement. You must engage these people. That's why you see in other countries people have union. Union vote on their interests. But unlike Liberia, whether they have union, the strength of the union is not something that even a lawmaker who is campaigning in a district respect, because union should be a very powerful group that will sabotage any politician who tend to do things to them. If these guys were in another country where the union is strong, the government will be meeting with the union and letting them know why they are making the decision, and ask the union leaders to go and sit with the motorcyclists across the country and begin to engage them to give them reason. And if the government reason makes sense, there will be a timeline to ensure that they have a smooth transition from point A to point B. That's how decisions are made. But there's no given time that you and I saw the Public Safety Division or even the president, because he just got elected by the very people, and these people have political, economic, social, and all the other needs you can talk about. These people are in need of those things. So in a spirit of engagement, there's no given time where the president even went, because campaign time, the candidate Joe Boca went across every district, right? He was there campaigning. Now, if you're about to make a decision that impact people and their family, don't you see the need to engage them, to talk to them? Or maybe are they seeing these people as people who supported the past administration, and therefore they desire no action from the government? They desire no respect. But the question here is, aren't they Liberians? Don't you see them as people who are entitled to fairness? Now, let's look at the 8 pillars of good governance. The 8 pillars of good governance talk about what? Inclusive participation. The decision that is being made or that had already been made to prevent the motorcyclists from traveling in certain areas across Monrovia or perhaps in Mosquito County. Was that decision an inclusive decision that brought to the table the motorcyclists, or it was just a command and control? Here is our decision. We're going to control the situation. Let me say this to you guys. Command and control is something that is in the past now. It has to be a form of inclusive communication and engagement. The generation today across the world, they are young people and they are in majority. And they participate now in every election in the world. So by you in the Liberian or looking them, you are setting yourself up for failure. And I think the decision of Joe Boyka to prevent the motorcyclists from doing what they were doing for the last 6 years and to abruptly stop it, that decision was not well thought of. They didn't look at the economic situation of the motorcyclists. They didn't look at the fact that they had created an opportunity for themselves to feed their children and the rest of their family. They didn't consider that. They also did not consider that by putting a stop to their movement, they didn't consider that it was going to create instability in their daily process. They didn't understand that. The fact that they didn't give the young people an opportunity to say, okay, you know what, by the end of July, this is April, by the end of July, we are going to be restricting you guys from going here or there. So from now to July, we will come up with the new plan and strategy to redraw your traveling route. We'll give you opportunity where things will be accessible for you guys. It happens, right? It happens. In other countries, people drive to the train station, they park their car, right? People drive to the airport, they park their car, right? So why can't somebody think about ways to say, okay, how can we help the motorcyclists to continue to provide services to those who don't have access to where they can be? Work with the motorcyclists, hear from them. These guys have ideas. Call them up, say, look, guys, here's the situation we are facing with right now. Let's have the conversation as to what we can do. What is your input? And some of the guys will give you good input. And that's what leadership is all about. Leadership is about engaging the people. You call them and say, look, this is what we're thinking about. But make sure you have the facts. You have enough evidence to give to them. And tell them, whether you said it in the past, you don't in the past, this is a new era. This is a new government. You come up with your facts and sit with it around the table and give it to them. But when you listen to the young people, none of the thing was said. Let's listen to them again.
So folks, you're hearing from citizens, the very self here, a disenchanted one, an EPS officer, are also here to grace this peaceful march. Here for themselves, stating that they have their gun with them. So, my brother, how are you doing? What do you have to say?
Thank you very much. I've got from City Police.
Oh, you from City Police? What put you down? What put you down?
I'm working. I can go to my hotel.
You're going to job on time?
Yes. They don't pay me, I get nothing.
You pay?
Nothing you pay me.
Thank you very much.
Baga must go.
Why?
Joseph Baga must go because we are disappointed in Joseph Baga power leadership. We have started Baga.
How do you describe Baga leadership?
I describe Baga leadership as a very wicked leadership.
Baga just coming to power and you're telling me about wicked leadership.
The few times that Baga has come to power, there are so many disasters within the country. Every day we have a fire, two houses burning. Number one, when people get in the street and shoot people are protesting, they shoot at them, they kill people at the job. So Baga is a bad leader. We don't want a leader when they say they call the government, you will go and kill them. You know what we elected Baga for? That's why we say Baga must go.
Thank you very much.
So let me ask you guys, don't you think that the guys that you watch it right now, don't you think they have voice in the country? You think what the guy just said, he's wrong for saying that? And I'm asking questions here, folks, and I want you to respond here. All right. I want you guys to engage me on the platform here. I see what they do. I want you guys to engage me on the platform. All right. And we'll discuss this again tomorrow. Don't you think the guys who are making who are having the conversation and giving their feedback on the Boga administration, don't you think they have their own voice? Don't you think they are entitled? And what you think is the root cause of the guy getting on the street? Is it poor decision? Or is it lack of information? Or is it lack of engagement? What do you think is happening here right now? I want you guys to engage me. I want to see your comment. Because this is how we grow community involvement, community engagement. This is how we grow it. And so what do you make of what the guy just said? They are Liberians, right? A few months ago, people were running to them. Thank you very much, Kima. Yeah, all right. Kima said, yes, they do have a decision. And the fact that they have decision, that is why when you are in leadership, Kenneth. I'm sorry for saying Kima, Kenneth, because you respect their opinions. If you are a leader, you don't just come up with command and control decision. A command and control decision is, let's read it here. By the time we finish, let's go give it to them. And we don't care what they say. Our decision is our decision. That is called command and control decision. But when we talk about community, inclusive decision-making process, and inclusive decision-making process has to do with engagement. During the campaign, did you see any political candidate saying, vote for me, I'm not coming to your community. Vote for me, I'm not coming to your town. Vote for me, I'm not coming to your county. Nobody said that because they understood that they must gain the people trust. And how do you plan to gain the people trust? You must engage them. So what the Boga administration is not taking the same approach to say, these are Liberians. I don't care whether they belong to any party. We are not in charge. Matter of fact, we took the oath of the Constitution to protect all Liberians and not only Unity Party Liberians. So this country is stressed economically. We as the government see ourselves, and in fact, it is true that we are the highest employer in this country. And the last thing we want to do is to sabotage, in a way now, taking people daily bread from off their table. And that is stopping the young people. What would be the consequences if we just go out there and say things? You see, my friend, this is what led to the 1989 war. Many of you guys are young today, but these are some of the symptoms that became a near miss opportunity, and a build up, and one day it just went kaboom. That's how the war started. That's how the war started. And that was the reason why the war started. So are we willing to go back to where we are? It might not be the war, but instability. When you see people protesting on the street every day in Monrovia, it creates instability emotionally, mentally, and physically. People get in the money, oh God, what are we going to do today? And the external instability it brings also to is investor. Investors see the country every day, people in the street passing around, doing this, they call the government, but that government don't even know how to solve their own domestic problem. They don't know how to solve their own domestic problem. Yesterday, they were in war with B Mountain. Today, now they're in war with their own citizen. How dare do we go in a country where we're going to take stakeholder money, whether it is from the bank that we borrow money to go invest in Liberia, and we see instability. And the business people, their only enjoyment is every day they must be able to send their product on the international market. And there is no reason when that product gets stuck on the highway through the process because somebody is protesting. That is scary. That is scary. All right? That is scary. Yes, that is scary. Somebody say election is over. We all are now on the matter of what? I couldn't agree with you more. So before, if you are in any position, my fellow Liberians, I'm not speaking to any government official, but for you watching me here, before you make any decision, you got to think about the why, the how, and the what. Why am I making the decision? How will the people out there accept the decision? And what is the purpose of the decision? If you're able to answer those important questions, then you can come up with a decision. But the key is engagement, communication. These people will understand if you clearly tell them exactly what is surrounding the decision and you give them time, they will clearly understand. All it takes is for you to support them, support the decision. Don't just say this is the decision, you walk away, because you are leaving them hanging in the balance of nothing to rely on or fall back on. And what's going to happen? They're going to take another route by protesting. So what they're doing out there, protest is part of the constitutional responsibility of every citizen. It's happening across the country and across the world, rather. It's happening everywhere. So I'm saying the Boka people on this topic, they are wrong. Why are they wrong? Well, you and I don't know why they went through the process. You and I don't know why they went through the process. We don't know. They did not give us a clear reason in terms of explanation as to why they decided to take or make the decision. If they had done so, you and I would be having the conversation here today. Like in the case of Jessica Law, I told you guys on the platform, Jessica Law was wrong by going strictly to Lucas Ritchie and holding his hand. Technically, she was assaulting him. Whatever decision that came out of that court is the court decision, is the system of how things work. If Jessica Law feels that she was not giving justice, if she feels that they bribe the judges, then take it on the system. Don't put it on Richie. You see, the criminal that called Stanton Witherspoon that were engaged into false document and faking documentation, he is set to go to jail. He had pled guilty to conspiracies to commit wire fraud because the system in the country did not look at any form of bribery. They went and collected the evidence and they presented it to a grand jury, and the grand jury determined that the case need to move forward through the legal process. And when it was announced that there had been an indictment of certain people, including the criminal that called Stanton Witherspoon now, you heard the indictment charges, they served it to him, and what did he do? He went and got a lawyer. On the first appearance to the court, he said he was not guilty. We got the news, right? But then later on down the road, he went back for the second time. But then the investigators and the people defending the state for wrongdoers, they presented the evidence. And criminal Stanton saw the evidence. And what did he do next? He said, I'm going to plead guilty. In fact, I'm not even going to go for jury trial, because if I do go for jury trial, the evidence here, I'm looking at 20 years in jail. So what did he do? He went to a lawyer and said, I'm going for a bench trial. He went with a lawyer, they went to the judge. Whatever he needed to pay, because he stole it, he decided to pay it back. And they gave him a 41-month sentence, which he had been postponing, but he was so wrong all the time. What does that tell you? The case between Liberia and the United States. It's the legal system. I'm not talking about the crown. It's the legal system. The legal system in one country work hard to gather the evidence and show it. The other system did not even care to provide evidence. So somebody walk. Now, if we were to bring that case in the United States here, let's say it happened here, where this Richard guy is accused of trying to do something terrible to that girl in America here, people were going to gather evidence. And it was going to be a very slim chance for Richard to walk out. And Richard knows he can't do such a thing in America where he's from, because he knows how the system works here. Right? You and I know how the system works here. People can go to Liberia, they violate traffic safety law, they do all kind of things. They can get away with it, right? But when they come here, so that means the system of traffic compliance in Liberia is weak. All right? It's weak. Oh my goodness.
Call from the wireless Carol.
Hold on there, guys. Hold on there, guys. Let's get to something here quick. Let me play a quick video here. I need to take the call, right? Oh, hold on there, please. Let me play a quick video here for you guys.
Evening. I'm popularly called Yellow Machine. I am the president of the Supreme Motorcycle Transport Union of Liberia. I have come this evening firstly to appreciate our motorcyclists who turn out today in their numbers to support the protest action of the Progressive Student Alliance. But like I said, I part by the evening to inform the world that my life has been threatened by Colonel Nelson Fremont, who is the Deputy Police Director of Operations. He threatened me that.
All right, guys, I'm back. I'm back, and my apologies. I'm back. My apologies. I am back. My apology. I had to take that call. But that video, we might not play it tonight, but we'll play that video in subsequent time. All right. So what I was saying before the phone call came in, the issue of Jessica Law, the root cause of her case has been the root cause of any other case in our country that never got true justice. And that is lack of trust in solving problems. Yes, lack of trust. Unlike other countries, people believe, all right? Unlike other countries, people believe that they can get true justice. And we are seeing it physically here. Stanton is guilty today. He's a criminal today because he did something in the country and the system held him accountable. Luca walked free today because irrespective of what he was accused of, they could not prove that. Even if the proof were there, it got trampled upon due to massive corruption in the country. So do you blame Lucas? No, you don't blame Lucas. Blame the system. That's why when we talk about root cause, we don't blame people. We blame system. We blame processes. That's what root cause is all about. The contributing factor are times where you blame the human being in it. Who brought the bribe? Well, somebody brought the bribe. They contributed to that. But in the system, say, commit yourself. Don't do this. Have you ever heard people telling you, say, oh, I'm just doing my job. This is the policy I'm following. I'm sure you have heard that so many times, right? Somebody will tell you, say, I'm just doing my job. This is the policy. If you don't like it, call your district and your lawmaker, or call your lawmaker, let them change it. But my role is to follow the law. Have you heard people saying that before in this country? Yes. So if people don't ensure the system work, then the root cause will fall on the system failure. All right? Now, so to conclude on the issue of the decision to restrict the motorcyclists, I think the government of Joe Walker need to rethink their decision and engage the young people in the country, have a sit down with them and gave them a timeline. But first come up with a real, understandable, and convincing reason supported by some type of data to tell them why you don't want them in certain area in the city or in Mosserado County. Give them the information. If they need interpreter, give it to them. And then after that, try to find another strategy, because the goal between the motorcyclists and the government decision, are we going to be getting what we are currently getting in terms of some type of financial income for themselves? If you're going to tell us, say, look, you go Pinville, there are a lot of passengers who are not coming over, they will be flooded in that area. If you tell us, say, you're going to Douala, you got all the or passengers on that side, they will be going down there. So how do you address that? That's something that need to be given a thought through process. All right. So moving on here. All right. Moving on here. We are going to talk about this guy right here now. This guy. We are going to talk about this guy. This guy, by our history here, we know this guy to be someone who works in the alien government. All right. And when he worked in the alien government, if you look at the name from the top, the very top, he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He is the 5th guy on the list from the top. The top being Boima Kamara. He is the 5th guy in row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sam Gay. He is the 5th guy in the row. During the early administration, he served as Deputy Director for Operation Executive Mansion Protection Service. Now, Boka nominated him, and he's now the the EPS Director. This guy right here. All right. Let me see if I can get him back here. I'm going forward. This guy right here. All right. He is the Deputy Director. He is now the Director of the EPS. Now, we are going to critically discuss these things here through the eyes of responsibility and accountability. Let me repeat myself again. I'm going to analyze the situation through the eyes of responsibility and accountability. In public services, there are times that people must be accountable for their behavior, and there are times that people need to be responsible. So let's get into the video. What do we know about the story here? Let's go over the story here. Like any other ministry in the country or agency, the Boka administration has decided to get rid of people who serve within the WIA administration, meaning most of the people that have been fired today, lay off, let go, they are people who work during the WIA 6 years. Other people are saying that they are being witch hunt by the Boka administration. It's like, let's get rid of all of that and bring our own people in. If that is the idea of the Boka administration, that is very, very dangerous. That is very, very dangerous. That is not healthy. It does not meet the requirement of reconciling the country. It does not even give it a thought process that we need unity in the country than disunity. It does not give any reason to say these people are Liberians. We got to find a way to keep these people happy. It does not even give a sense to Boka to say, I got majority of the vote. Who knows? Some of the people may be working for WIA, they voted for me. All the possible reason, nobody in the Boka administration decided to give you a thought through process. Now, coming to the same situation, this guy right here, he worked in the EPS before. He has that knowledge of the EPS. But then one morning he just came out and said, we are going to lay people off. But the question here is, again, it has to do with decision. Did he make the right decision? Was a decision a thought through process? Did it meet the required standard of the guys who were with in the EPS prior to him coming on board. How much information do we have out here about their firing? Do you have any information that I need to know of? For example, the guys that are letting go, were they planning anything to get rid of Joe Boyka? Let's assume the answer is yes. But then we'll have a follow-up question. How much information do we have as member of the Fourth Estate? How much knowledge do we know about what they were planning to do? Because that could be one of the reasons. If they are subject to investigation, they are subject to being suspended pending investigation. Is it based on performance? If they say it's based on performance, the guy just been in office less than 100 days in office. What strategy, goal, and whatever they put in place with the expectation that the guy should meet this expectation at any given time. And since they had given that performance expectation, the guy never met the expectation, and therefore they decided to let them go. Do we have any information on that? That's how I will be analyzing it, folks. That's how I will train in this country. I don't know about Repo platform who gets supporting these things here, but is it going to be a fair decision or an honest decision based on their poor performance or based on what they were planning to do? That's what I will train to do in America here. You guys who work in the country here, nobody will just get up one morning. You had no written warning, verbal, whatever, suspension. Somebody just get one morning and say, you fire, and they give you no reason, and you know you are not doing anything. There are laws in the country that will investigate why that decision was made, or that decision was made against you or other people, right? Because in order to let somebody go, it's the same as bringing somebody in on the job. There must be a process involved. The guy had never been issued any written warning as far as you and myself concerned to say, hey, Jay Randy, you see the guys in here? They have been very disgruntled. They have been underperforming. They have been very, or tired to work. They don't come to work on time. They don't follow nothing. Look at all this stack of record here. Nothing of the sort was done. Nothing. All we know one morning, they are out of job. Okay, we feel for them, right? So we should be asking the lawmakers to call on this guy right here. Let him come to the lawmakers, because the lawmakers represent every district in the country, and say, look, Mr. EPA director, what factor did you use? What factor tree or what logical tree did you use to let the guys go? Would you mind telling us here so the people of Liberia, both back home and in the diaspora, can understand? So we're going to have the conversation here so that everybody can get to know. And let him tell us if they feel that there are certain people that want to overthrow Joe Boyka, provide the evidence. Some of it could be classified, fine, but give us something. Or if they are not performing to the expectation, give us something. If they are not coming to job at all, give us something. And then we're going to say, hey guys, come on, man. The guy give you a job to perform. You got your duty to do. And you guys are not holding yourself accountable to coming to work all the time or doing this thing. But nothing was done, folks. Nothing was done. So where is the transparency? Remember the 8 pillars? We talk about the 8 pillars of good governance, right? The 8 pillars of good government cover what? Transparent decision. All right? Transparent decision making. What it says here? Transparency in decision making is a hallmark of a well-governed government where decisions are made and justified openly based on what? Documented evidence. So can they provide any documented evidence, or it's just a political thing? You see, many Liberians now today, like I said at the beginning of the show, many Liberians are so infatuated with politics. As far as other logical way of thinking is very, very limited to many Liberians right now. With all due respect. With all due respect. So we have question and we need answer on the platform. Mr. Director of the EPS, Sam Gay, we would like to know what triggered the firing of these people. What evidence, what proof do you have? Is it anything that has to do with sabotage? Is it anything that has to do with poor performance? Is it anything that has to do to what? Not being on time to work? Are they disgruntled employees? We need to know all these things. And if so, how many times have you or the direct report that each of the guys had ever gave them verbal warning, written warning, suspension, and then to be fired? Where are all the documentations? Because we want to have a transparent decision from the institution. Those are the questions that we have as a responsible person, right? Yes, as a responsible person. Now, let's go to the accountability side of the conversation here. Let's go to the accountability side. So, one of the EPS guys got fired, all right? He got fired and decided to go to the studio. One of them got fired and decided to go to a studio. Let's listen here again.
All that it is made illegally, we stand together and we're ready to revenge anytime.
We all that are dismissed illegally, we are fully prepared to take any action. If Senge is not willing to pay us off, we are prepared.
Okay, so your request now is to pay you people off.
Is to pay
and
us
how
off.
much is it for each of you?
Like for me, I made $300 and 14,000 Liberian naira. So if you employ me and you say I'm dismissed, it means you break contract with me. So that is, you are the one need to pay me. If I resign, then I break contract with you. So that is, I have to go empty. But you dismiss me, I didn't resign, and for no reason. So you have to pay me. So the 300 and the 14,000, you do your calculation, and you know what to give me.
So they refuse to pay you guys off?
Oh yes, they only give you letter, give your ID, and you go.
And they never care to ask for the weapons?
They don't care about anything. Even they ask for the weapon, they will not get it.
So they haven't asked for the weapons?
Oh yes.
All right, guys. I don't know how other people discuss this thing here, but here is my insight to this. Here's my insight. I think the journalist missed a very important question. So I want us to go back and let's try to take a baby step approach to analyzing the conversation, so that way you can get a clear picture of what I am looking at, so that you can get a second clear picture here, right? So let's get back to the video again. It's starting. We're going to do start and go, right? So let's listen.
Hey. As I'm speaking now, Stanley, I have my weapon with me.
Hey.
As I'm speaking now, Stanley, I have
all right, so all right, so I have to get it off the screen because I think it's still playing in our mode. So let me get it off the screen and bring it right back. And that way, I think it will start from the beginning. So let's go back.
They understand.
Yeah, they may stand it. I'm seeing the weapon with you. Hey.
As I'm speaking now, Stanley.
Okay, I think it got to end.
Maybe they ask for the orders, but for me, I can present it.
Okay, so
let's start it again from the beginning now, right? Let's go from the beginning.
Hey.
As I'm speaking now, Stanley, I have my weapon with me.
They understand.
Yeah, they may stand it. I'm seeing the weapon with you.
So, as I'm speaking now, Senge call each and every one. Since Senge was confirmed from Capitol Building, he hasn't reached down to HQ, to where we work. He always at the executive mansion on the 4th floor, because he know his statement towards the country, it was not legitimate. So the fear is in him. So what he do now, he uses his SA, who is irrational, to do all his job.
So widow, the thing is getting serious. You people still have your weapons.
Oh yes.
Every one of you that they put down have your weapons.
Yes.
The 300 persons.
This is scary.
Oh yes.
Are you willing? And go ahead.
It said that you people are on the run now. Are they looking for you guys?
For me, I'm not on the run because
all right, so yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove it and I'm going to bring it right back. Let me remove it and bring it right back. So let's go and get it again, because I want to make a very important point here. So I'm going to bring the video right back and then I'm going to lower it again. It's coming back on.
As I'm speaking now, Standing, I have my weapon with me.
They
may have to stand.
Yeah, the man standing. I'm seeing the weapon with you.
So, as I'm speaking now, Senge call each and every one. Since Senge was confirmed from Capitol Building, he hasn't reached down to HQ, to where we work. He always at the executive mansion on the 4th floor because he know his statement towards the country. It was not legitimate. So the fear is in him. So what he do now? He uses his SA, who is irrational, to do all his job.
All right. So I know that the journalist perhaps is aware of the question, the statement the guy made. But whenever you are running your show, and I'm not telling anybody how to do their job yet, but if I were in a studio, I would ask the former EPS guy, what statement did he make? What was the statement he made? And the reason you're asking that is for this guy to tell you the reason behind that statement that prevented him from coming down. And then you start to see the big picture. But that question was a missed opportunity, and I hope that people will learn from that. Now, let's continue here again. Let's continue.
So, Widow, the thing is getting serious. You people still have your weapons.
Oh, yes.
Every one of you that they put down have your weapons.
Yes.
The 300 persons.
This is scary.
Oh, yes.
Are you willing? And go ahead.
It said that you people are on the run now. Are they looking for you guys?
For me, I'm not on the run because I'm fully prepared for any other eventuality. Any attempt, I will not relent. I will strongly retaliate.
That's a wrong move. That's absolutely wrong. You see, the expectation always come with accountability. This guy, while it is true that people feel sorry for him, if he is dismissed, according to the EPS, the guns, whatever is property of the government, he's supposed to turn it in. He's supposed to turn it in. And he's supposed to turn it in based on documentations. That is why when people are assigned, there must be a protocol, there must be a standard of how things should be done. When you are let go, you turn over your weapon. These are universal rules that must be followed. So this situation falls on responsibility and accountability. The responsibility, one, fall on this guy. He has that responsibility to turn back the government property. The accountability fall on Mr. Senge. He is accountable for what is not being given to him. So in this case, both parties, that is the fire EPS guy, from what we're hearing now, and the EPS boss, they are not doing things by standard. And so that brings about a friction between the two. Because if you're letting somebody go, because I would like to see the letter. The guy talk about letter, right? He said, well, issue letter. I would like to see the content of the letter. Dear employees of the EPS, at this moment or going forward or at so and so date, you are no longer with XYZ. Therefore, you are required to turn over all government, yada, yada, yada. If that statement is put out by Senge and the public gets to see it, this guy is in non-compliance of not turning that weapon over. However, if there were no such letter turned over, as a professional guy, he can use that weapon, holding that weapon hostage as a means to get his pay. Why? Because we are a country that operates with 3 branches of government. The judicial branch is there to interpret the law. The lawmaker there is, one of their roles is to create check and balance against the executive branch and the judicial branch on behalf of the people. They should be able to get involved to see what is happening. So everyone seems to be in control, but nobody is in charge. So let's try to finish up the conversation, and then we'll go to something that is very practical in relationship to this.
I'm fully prepared.
Wow. What is Liberia getting into so?
What is this country getting
So
into?
you people, 300 plus of you people have your weapons.
We have weapon and prepare.
Are you people jointly?
So what does it mean by prepare? I mean, what does it mean by prepare? I mean, I understand that the guy fired, right? But the way he conducted himself is making me even scary to support him. He's not making a case better for himself. And let me say this to Sedition and other Liberians. I'm not saying it here because I support the Unity Party, because I know Liberian quit to pin people. And that's why it is very difficult for me to engage with many Liberians. I'm looking at it here from accountability and responsibility. It has nothing to do with political party. Our country has been at war, and we must be able to be very careful how we say things and how we behave. It's from that background of past experience that I'm having this conversation. 300 individuals having guns when they are not part of the government, it is a concern because it happened in the past before. And we now want the current generation that was not part of the past war experience to see something similar. So what do? We take a calculated approach to things by looking at things administratively, by looking at policy expectation and requirement to see where things are going wrong. That's what we're looking at in the eyes of accountability and responsibility. You listen to this guy. We are prepared. Prepared for what? Prepare for what? That's the question I will be asking in the studio. Prepare for what? The gun don't belong to you. The gun don't belong to you. You fire, you turn the gun over. And as a lesson learned, there should be a new policy in how government property can be turned over. Now, he does have a point to some extent, holding the guns as a leverage to get his pay. What is the responsibility of the government? The government can say, okay, we have your salary available, come and get your gun. In this country, we all have company badges or key fob to enter the building, right? Because the system here is so structured and is supported by laws, the moment they let you go, they deactivate your card, that is your key card or your key fob. But you know that your pay will be coming very soon. So you don't worry about that because the system has been operating like that for many, many years ago. However, in Liberia, it's a different case. So in all fairness to the guy, I want to keep the arm. One thing I'm gathering from him is, if the firing, oh, I need our money, or we need our money. Fine. If that's the case, same game, part of your responsibility is to make that announcement, all 300 people that you fire, in order to get the government property back, but at just the beginning of the process, is to be able to pay them and let them return their guns. But that behavior should be marked. It should be marked for two reasons. One, these guys need to be cautioned that next time if something similar they happen, turn the gun over. Don't use the gun as a leverage because it's property of the government. Two, the administration of the EPS need to make sure that fire employees are trained and giving some member of understanding that whenever you are let go, you must surrender your arm within a time frame of 12 hours to 24 hours. If you're on the job, they let you go, you get a letter, you turn the gun over. If you are home, they let you go, you turn the gun over. Those things will bring about discipline among public officials, especially across the government and within the country. Let's listen to him here again, folks. Let's continue listening to him here.
On this thing, or it is just few individuals, or you people have said, okay, you know what, we all that it is made illegally, we stand together and we're ready to revenge anytime.
We all that are dismissed illegally, we are fully prepared to take any action. If Senge is not willing to pay us off, we are prepared.
Okay.
All right. So I see my brother here. He said, but my brother, you can't just fire 300 people. I'm not saying it was wrong to fire 300 people, Dominic. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying here is you are no longer employed according to the EPS, right? Now, whatever belongs to the government, do your part as a disciplined former employee because you took that gun to protect the president who served the people. If they took that job from you, you still a citizen, but you are not a public servant in our role. So whatever you have for the government, give it back to the government. then you can begin a campaign now to seek justice for your unlawful firing. Because that way you already turn over the government property. That's what you need to do. Turn over the government property. There are places where they lay off people. That number is very small. But we'll come to other suggestions, other ideas. What I'm saying here is they all need to turn over the guns. Why? Because we live in a democratic society, my friend Dominic. And what does a democratic society call for? Due process. It calls for due process. Give the gun. The next thing here is you put yourself together and begin to request for a fair reason why you guys got fired. There are stakeholders in the country. The United States is there. The international community of other countries, along with the United States, also there. If these guys were trained by other country resources, like I said, let Sam Gay tell the Liberian people why the people were fired. Because that should be the main reason why the guys should be concerned. But they should not do it in an aggressive way. Because they got reason. We don't know why they were fired. They need to take that soft approach, not the hard approach. There's no documentation out here that show that these guys were disgruntled, they were disrespectful, they never showed to work on time, or they are planning to overthrow Bawka government or to do anything. We don't know anything. Just one morning, somebody came up with a decision, never give it a thought-through process, and just let people go. Turn over the weapon, and then begin to gather yourself to go through the legal process. You see, one of the reasons why Liberia is not going to make any progress, let me just pause the conversation and inject something into this thing here. When our war came to an end, there was a document, or there is a document in Liberia called a GC, the Good Governance Document. In that document, there is an office called the Office of the Ombudsman. Whenever a country go into internal conflict and they broke down society and kill each other, it has been proven from case study to success that rebuilding the country must have an independent institution between the government and the people. And that is why they had the Office of the Ombudsman. It works in many countries, including Africa, but we have that in our document. Eden did not put it to use. We did not put it to use. The purpose for the Office of the Ombudsman is to always look at triggers, is to always look at red flags that has the propensity to take the country back to instability. That's what the Office of the Ombudsman is all about. So in the case, if that office was established, they don't report to the three branches of government. They only work with them. They don't report to the Liberian people. They only hear the Liberian people concerned. And all they do is they take case from the government, they take case from the people of Liberia and discuss it in the eyes of fairness. If there's any reason that something is about to create instability, they will say, looking at two of them, the government and the people. No, we don't want that. Because they think it happened in the past and it took us to war. So they found a way to do it. The Liberian government, whether it was Ellen, now Bawka, they're refusing to put this thing in, to put that institution in place. That is the trigger. In Paul Kagame country, that thing exists. In other African countries, it exists. You can do your own Google research and say, list for me how many countries in Africa has Office of the Ombudsman. So what am I saying here? We are riding between rock and hard places. So when you hear the guy saying, oh, we're not going to get it going, we are prepared, the ombudsman will say, The same thing the people in Nimba were saying, again, the same crown people there, we don't want that here again. And they will intervene. The same thing happened during those times. Many soldiers that were not crowned were laid off. Some of you guys don't know. There were people in the Dole government that were laying off other army personnel that were not crowned people. It happens. But how do we learn from the past? How do we learn from the past? How do we have how do we learn from the past? It is to be very, very robust in our decision making. So these guys, if they are fired, that the people's decision. Turn the arm over and then begin to regroup yourself and start to seek reason why you were fired. There are institutions in the country. The lawmakers that represent these people, all the people from different districts, right? They got senators, they got lawmakers. This is time now that the lawmakers they need to come down and say, these guys are government officials. Or let's say former public servants. Why did you fire them, Mr. Semgay? This is why the lawmakers they need to come on behalf of these guys and say, why did you fire these people? Semgay, we need you here now. Don't we have representative? What is the true definition of a representative? Don't we have senator? What is the true meaning of a senator? When they are running their campaign, what do they tell the Liberian people when they're running their campaign? And how much do the Liberian people understand what it means to have a senator? Hello, somebody out there listening to me? How many people on the different platform teaching our people about the basic responsibility of a citizen or a former government official as to what step to take? How many people? Hello, I'm asking a question here, folks. We're supposed to be a civilized country. We're supposed to follow the rule of law. When we talk about rule of law, that's what I'm talking about right now. And tomorrow morning, I can guarantee you, join me in the morning at 9 o'clock. I will be back here again with a part 2 of the conversation. And we'll be looking at what we call why rules are not followed in Liberia. So what happened to the representative? They confirmed these people. The Senate confirmed these guys. If I'm in our Senate right now, if I'm a representative, we are calling Semgay. Semgay, 300 people out of job is going to affect the performance of our government. We're going to have the highest unemployment rate. Would you mind telling us the reason for letting these people go? That's why we need to be advocating for. That's why we need to be advocating for, my brothers and sisters. Let us not support bad ideas, but we should see the need to take a very soft approach to things, but be very constructive in our softness. So let's listen to the guy here again.
So your request now is to pay you people off.
Is to pay.
And how much is it for each of you?
Like for me, I made $300 and 14,000.
First of all, let me say this here. All right. This guy who is talking, yeah, my question here. Is he an individual that went to the studio, or is he the chief spokesman for the 300 people? We have to establish that. We have to establish that. And that's why the guy in the studio, I'm not trying to tell them how to do their job, but if somebody come and say we are not prepared, you got to be very careful how you use that generalization. We are not prepared. Because the first thing when he got to the studio, the first question should be asked of him is, in what capacity are you on the platform? Are you representing yourself? And again, folks, please don't get me wrong. I am not here to support anybody. I'm a professional person. I'm an analyst. That's what I do. In order to save myself from being crossed into something else, we must establish standards here. Somebody come to the studio, you ask them, are you coming here on your own? I know, on your own to tell the Liberian people, or are you member of whatever group, or are you the spokesman? Are you the secretary? Are you somebody? Who are you? That way, if anything goes wrong, that person has already defined themselves as to who they are. But there's no time in this conversation that I heard who the guy represents. But what I keep hearing is, we are prepared. We want this. We want that. So on the platform, we have to be very careful how we ask questions, because people out there are very measured in their thought. And we try to reshape the way things are done on other platforms here. Because as a leader, I'm very careful how I ask questions, and I'm very clear and precise how people should respond to things because it brings about accountability and responsibility. So the question here is, in what capacity is this guy speaking? Is he speaking as the spokesman for the 300 people that have gotten fired? Is it even true that 300 people got fired? Where are the documents that show? If Senge fired 300 people, he need to publish that documentation. Because we cannot go on narrative of what people say. And no, I for one will want to trust but verify. I'm not trying to be a very difficult person here, but the society that I found myself in is a society of law, responsibility, and accountability. And that's what I'm saying here today. I may not be the popular person within the Liberian community on social media, but listen to me, you will get to know how constructed and well-measured I am when it comes to dealing with processes, standard, individual, and society. That just means, let's see, let's continue with the conversation here.
So if you employ me and you say I'm dismissed, it means you break contract with me. So that is, you are the one need to pay me. If I resign, then I break contract with you. So that is, I have to go empty. But you dismiss.
All right, Roosevelt Flomo. Roosevelt Flomo. There is no one in the world that is called DSEG. I'm discussing the thing professionally here. I'm not discussing it here based on party sentiment or friendship. When I sit here and discussing the thing, Flomo, I'm working for you guys out there. You guys are my stakeholder. I want you to walk away here with a sense of being very objective. When I see DSEG, I'm not going to take DSEG. Because if we were just accepting DSEG, it would be bad. So how do we solve the DSEG problem? Well, every big platform now should be calling on the House of Representatives or the legislative branch to call Semge to an open hearing and begin to ask all the DSEG questions in a very constructive way. For example, Mr. Semge, is it true that 300 former EPS servicemen have been laid off by you? That would be yes or no. Why? Because you'll be on an oath. Why? Because the House will follow up on the roster of all those employees. So while it is true that we are traditionally connected to to DSEG, I want to limit that on the platform here. Because in order to hold Joe Boyka government to be very ineffective, we must be able to put in place all the effective tools that an administration should look into before making decisions. And in order to do that, those who are discussing it here, we have to be very measured in our school of thought by putting in place the right tools, the right enablers to have this conversation. So when I see DSEG, I will start to ask people, well, that's a good statement by general interpretation, but it does not apply in what I'm trying to achieve. No, because if I want to get to the bottom of this, the last thing I want to carry out to anyone is to say, the people say, no, I will not take that. That just me, folks. That just me. All right. That just me. So let's continue here. All right. Let's continue.
Me, I've been resigned and for no reason. So you have to pay me. So the 300 and the 14,000, you do your calculation and you know what to give me.
So they refuse to pay you.
I'm not saying, Roosevelt, I'm not saying whether Doe was a military man or Doe or Boyka is not. I'm saying the cost factor. You got to understand, Flomo, for everything that happened, there is a contributing factor and there is a root cause factor. The behavior that Doe carry out is no different from the behavior that Boyka is carrying out. That's the behavior. I'm looking at the constant, you see, it's like you're looking at a math. I don't know how strong your math knowledge is, but there is a quadratic equation that says AX squared plus BX plus C equals 0. All those letters, then, they can be changed, but that C cannot be changed. And that C I'm talking about. What I explained about Doe firing people from job is the same firing thing that Boyka is doing. That is the constant variable behavior there. I'm not talking when you put an A there or the B, that the crown or the military and the civilian. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the consistency of firing people with all no justifiable reason. That is what I'm trying to convey at Roosevelt. So you got to understand, and you got to understand what Jay Randy is saying here. All right. So I mean, I know it's too much information I'm giving here, but I'm not saying military. No, I'm looking at the firing. I'm looking at the firing. All right. I'm looking at the firing. I'm talking about Sarah and I'm talking about Mary, but generally I'm talking about women. But it's just like two different type of names. That's what I'm trying to say here. All right. But thank you for that. All right. Now. All right. So let's listen to the guy here again. All right.
Gas off? Oh yes. They only give you letter, give your ID, and you go.
And they never care to ask for the weapons?
They don't care about anything. Even they ask for the weapon, they will not get it.
So they haven't asked for the weapons?
Oh yes.
Now you see, again, that is the trouble there again. And this is my goal here is to ensure that things don't escalate to violence. Many of who live outside the country, if anything happens, will be indirectly affected and not directly affected. So would you rather the guy become intransigent or become very stubborn? It's not supposed to happen. When Mr. Trump took office here, there are a lot of people that were let go from the FBI. Go do a case study as to see how they handle their situation. So we got to learn from those things. So he's saying, I'm not going to give my weapon. You define authority. Your right can become a wrong. Give the people a weapon. You got lawmakers. If they don't do it, fine. You learn your lesson. Next time for election, you say, I'm myself here, I'm going to run. Why you think, all right? Why you think, let me say this here. Why you think Senator John McCain, why you think someone like John Kerry and other former military vet, why you think those guys, when they come from the war front, they want to run to be senator or even president? You know why? Because when they come from the battlefront, the reason they want to be senator is to represent their body there. Because they know the young men are walking to go join the army, the police, or any services in America. They need a voice in Congress. Why? Because they understand what is happening out there. The guy who just came with a blue collar, where the tie, he got elected because he come from one of the robust school. He doesn't really 100% understand what the guy went through. So one of the things that need to be done, if the guys, let's say, give their weapon and nobody seek their interests, and they had to go back into society and become member of the regular society, if they can be given an opportunity to go and serve in that House of Senate or Representative, then it's about time they need to start changing things now and start putting in place new laws that will prevent things from happening to the new generation of people. And that's why we need to have the kind of conversation. That's why we need to have the kind of conversation. It happened here before, and it can happen too. So let's listen here again.
Maybe they ask for the orders, but for me, I can present it.
Okay, so
do you think he's right? Let me ask the question now before we go to the next video. Do you think he's right to say, for me, I'm not going to give my gun? Is he right? Well, as we contemplate on that, let's see the action here now. All right? Let's look at the action.
Officers are here. They are here. They have just stopped, captured some men. They have just captured some men. They have just captured some men, folks. They have just captured some men, folks. They have just captured some men.
Now, let me bring it to your attention, right? You listen to the guy who is doing the video narrative. Did you hear the word he just used? They just captured them. But somebody said, I tell you, Roosevelt. He said, well, now, Roosevelt, I want to challenge you now. Do you think that guy using the word, they just captured them? Do you know who they capture? A fugitive is the one that is captured. Do you see that guy as a fugitive? Do you think that guy is a fugitive? Well, technically, he could be a fugitive, but administratively, he's not a fugitive. And here's what the EPS, in my knowledge, in my opinion, the EPA has not come up with anything that says that they got a fugitive, right? So then why the journalist using the word, they capture the guy. So that means the journalist himself need to be trained as to how. They can say the police have handled this guy who were in the studio. But you can say they had captured him. I remember growing up during the Samuel Kanyando days when they grabbed Thomas Kuonkwa, who came with a coup, that when they were using the word capturing. So sometimes there are certain words that you cannot use. But let's watch the video here, and then we'll be back here tomorrow with another beautiful one. So here is the consequences that I personally, if I were a vaccinator, that I would not like to see. All right, let's see here. Let's look at the consequences here now. Let's look at the consequences.
They have just captured some men. But this is bad. This is very much bad. You see that serious tussle here. Serious fight going on. There are serious fight 1-2-1. 1-2-1. There are serious fight going on. There are serious fight. Slapping the side in the making. You are seeing it. He's very resistant. He's resistant. The tension is too much here.
Now, let me ask this question here, folks. I would like to ask this question here, right? Here is what I want to understand here. I see the police out there to protect the public from any eventuality. But my question here is, was there any time where the EPS issue a surrender your weapon to the EPS office by these guys? Because there must be an order to ask them to surrender their weapon. That's why you see we talk about the 8 pillar of transparency. There must be an order to say, surrender your weapon. And if that statement or that announcement went out there and the guys decide not to surrender their weapon, then that means they becoming to be a radical group. So if that was never announced, then the police came. At least talk to these guys and say, hey, we need you at the police station for XYZ reasons, for public safety issue. And I think this thing should have been handled in a professional way. When the guy went to the studio and said, and when they explain what happened, he want to explain about what happened. And when they're asking for his weapon, he could say, as far as the weapon go, I cannot speak to that right now. But what I'm here to say in the studio here is 300 of us, has been fired for no legitimate reason. And we are demanding reason why we got fired. Do you still have the government arm? Well, he could also say, yes, I have the government arm, but the government had not requested us to turn the arm over. That's how you answer the question. Because when you made a kind of statement, then that means you're showing to the public that these guys are not responsible. These guys that Joe Boca got in there, they are not responsible. And until they ask me to turn my arm over, I will turn it over. Until then, they are not done so, but they fire us. So I'm still waiting for command. But they ask me in the studio, they say, even when they ask me to turn it over or not turn it over, that was absolutely wrong. So let's finish the video here quickly here. All right, let's finish the video here quickly here.
Well, you got the line from no. And he's resisting seriously. He has been resisting seriously. He's been transferred. He's been transferred to another campus. This is terrifying. He has been the one on the radio this morning. This is terrifying. He has been the one on the radio this morning. This is very terrifying. This is very terrifying. This is too bad. This is bad for our future folks. Like you see, the EPS officers have been Yeah, you see another side.
All right, so guys, we'd like to close the curtain here today, and tomorrow morning, hopefully my time, I will be appearing here at 9. I can guarantee you guys, and I hope that I will not slip off it again. So tomorrow I will be appearing here at 9 a.m. to continue with another topic. Very interesting one. We'll run that one from 9 perhaps to 11, and we'll be doing it on the same platform here. There are a lot of things that are happening in Liberia, and I will be breaking down a few things for you. But for tonight, I think from the bottom to the top, the EPS and this guy who is considered to be a former EPS guy, the director of the EPS, in my opinion, from what I have seen so far, did not do a good job. One, if there were reason for firing the 300 guys, like every one of you guys are concerned, it should be made public to the people of Liberia. These guys are civil servants, or they were civil servants, and their dismissal should have a reason, a convincing reason as to why they were fired. I never heard that from the EPS director. So they need to petition the lawmakers to call the EPS director to give a clear reason. To give reason, not clear reason, to give reason why he let the guys go. And then you and I out here will be able to understand what the reasons were. Also, the EPS guys, and there of them out there that still got the government property, in the spirit of peace and to be a very disciplined and professional guy, I will ask them to turn over their weapon and seek the rightful means to get what they want. That is my thought. As far as Joe Boga goes, Joe Boga, in my opinion, have failed completed. The 100 days, Mr. Boga have failed. His administration from sunrise to sunset has been nothing but instability in the country. Mr. Boga is destroying jobs rather than creating jobs. And if Mr. Boga continue on the path, there will be instability throughout. His policy are not helping the people. The decision from his trusted men are creating more division in the country. There's nothing Boga has done successfully that is giving people the rescue feelings, comfort, nothing. In fact, the decision and action that we have seen so far, it is putting people in danger, because the opposite of rescue is endangering people. And that's exactly what Boga is doing, and we'll let Boga know. So guys, thank you so much for the opportunity. Let us be back here again tomorrow, hopefully, to have another beautiful conversation in the morning before lunchtime. I believe around 9 a.m. I will be back here again with another beautiful conversation. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This has been the J. Randy Show. Hope to see you guys again. Let us continue to be here all the time, all right? Give me your feedback. Give me your thought, Reservoir and others. I really want to appreciate you guys for engaging the show here today. We'll be back here tomorrow in the morning. And then hopefully, if we do have time, we will be back here perhaps in the evening time. I cannot come on tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Maybe I might do it at 6 in the evening. That would be because, the next day is Monday and I have to do other stuff for my kids. So I will be trapped in between there. So let us reconvene tomorrow, 9 a.m. by God's grace. And then we'll do that again at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys so much, and God bless you guys. See you guys, and see you guys again, all right? So thank you guys so much, and thank you very much, Reservoir. I appreciate you for all your contribution. God bless you guys, and bye.